law firm SEO webinar. This is the first of a series of webinars coming on every Tuesday for free. Same time, same channel, 2 p.m. My name is Nick Kringus, and a little bit about me personally. I grew up in the family restaurant business in Sleepy Hollow, New York, and I was there until I went to college to Syracuse, graduated with 2 majors, entrepreneurship and finance. And then after I graduated, we opened the restaurant together with my family in White Plains, New York. Since then, I've opened 4 restaurants or food businesses. I'm not in the restaurant business anymore. 2 of them are still operating. My parents operate one, and my brother, trained chef, operates the other. Back in 2010, when I was managing one of the restaurants, I came across a home study course on SEO. I dove right in. I just loved it from the very beginning. I was able to get our little local Greek restaurant on page 1 for the broad and competitive term Greek restaurant, which was amazing. I haven't touched the site since, but that was certainly a big moment for me. It hooked me into SEO and getting traffic from search engines. I was taking on SEO clients part-time until about August 2013, when I met Tom Desmond, my partner and co-founder at Apricot Law. We formed Apricot Law, Inc. In November 2013, and we've been rocking ever since, focused specifically on law firms and more specifically on personal injury firms, mostly because it's a very competitive niche and we feel like we can win there. And because personal injury terms on a cost per click basis are some of the most expensive out there. And let's just talk about SEO for a minute. Why search traffic? Why do we want this search traffic? It's the only form of marketing that I can think of that is not interruptive. It's people looking for what you have to offer, and if you show up, you get the business. It's someone with their wallet out looking for you, as opposed to the other way around where you're interrupting their normal everyday activities. Like if they're on Facebook and an ad pops up, that's interruptive. Search marketing is opposite. It's non-interruptive. It's them searching for you, and why I love it so much as a marketing channel. I'd also like to show you a few recent rankings that we've had, just to show you that we know what we're doing here at Apricot Law. The first one that I want to show you was a new ranking that we had for an attorney in Brooklyn, drug possession lawyer. Not the most competitive term by any means, but very cool. We were able to, and this doesn't happen all the time, but we have 3 spots on the first page of Google for drug possession lawyer Brooklyn. His YouTube video is at the very top. His website inner page is number 4. And at the bottom is his Facebook post that we did about drug possession. So 3 spots on the first page of Google for that term, which is really cool. A lot of people just focus on their main website to rank, which is a mistake. The YouTube channel and these social media profiles like Facebook, Google+, Twitter, right now Weebly is ranking really easily. Borrow the authority of those websites, the trust and authority that they've already established with millions of visitors and links already pointing to those sites, and they're really strong. You could create a page for free and rank those. So don't just focus on just your own website. After that, we were able to most recently, I think this is the most recent big keyword that we were able to rank, Austin car accident lawyer. Our client is here halfway up the page and climbing. I think he was further down earlier in the week, which is a good sign. Something that's even more competitive is car accident lawyer NYC. On this one, I believe we're on 2 spots, although not organically. He's here in the maps, which is awesome. We're not specialists in the map listings by any means, but I've found that if you have a lot of local citations and local directories, and you have your Google Plus page set up properly, we were able to get most of our clients to show up in the map. Although, like I said, we're not experts there. And then here he is again with his other website, caraccidentlawyer-ny.com. And we're only showing these sites with his permission, of course. So those are the latest. And then one more thing that was really cool, I just ran this Excel sheet. Well, this is a month ago, but I just opened it up. We've taken on other clients outside of personal injury law and outside of law. But when we first started focusing on personal injury lawyers specifically, we took on a group of 5 clients. And in 6 months, here's what we were able to do with that beta group. And I'll go down this slow. I mean, these are all the page 1 rankings. These are number 1. And some are more competitive than others, but they all have the term attorney in it. So these are people looking for this specific type of attorney in these cities, motorcycle accidents. So these are all number 1 positions. So we've done pretty well. This is not an exhaustive list. We've actually had more page 1 rankings since this Excel sheet was put together. I don't remember exactly when it was. I think it was about a month ago. So it's 135 number 1 rankings, all legal based. NYC taxi accident lawyer. That's a good one. It's actually a pretty competitive one. Broken arm NYC lawyer is a sign of good keyword research there, because people search that term, but not a lot of people go after it. So I think there's 200. Is over 280 page 1 rankings for this core group of clients that we took on in about a 6-month time frame. So we've had a little bit of success with Google, and now we're focused on the more competitive terms. Let's jump right into the content. Let me help you, and I'm going to give you as much content as I can here to help you in ranking your firm and getting some more search traffic to your website. So first of all, PageRank has always been the go-to metric for how authoritative a website is in the eyes of Google. But it has recently, I mean, over the past year and a half, the thing wasn't being updated at all. It used to be updated monthly. And all right, cool, Ethan, just take some notes here. So anyway, here's an article from Search Engine Watch officially announcing PageRank dead. Later the same month, Cuts indicated the pipeline that pushes PageRank data from the internal Google servers to the toolbar broke, and there were no plans to fix it. It was widely speculated at the time that there would never be another PageRank update. But just 6 weeks later, PageRank updated on December 6th. And that was the last update, which was last year. Fast forward exactly 1 year after the first scare to October, and Google John Mueller got everyone's attention when he stated, we'll probably not be updating it again moving forward. So PageRank is officially dead. So what is the metric that we look at now when we're looking at the authority of any website and how it compares to other websites? It's Mose's domain authority and Mose's page authority. And I'll go through each one of these really quickly, but this is just getting the lay of the land here. Domain authority represents Mose's best prediction for how a website will perform in search engine rankings. This has been pretty accurate in terms of what's on page 1. Go ahead and download, if you haven't already done so, the Mose toolbar. I'll turn it on now, but sometimes it blocks part of my browser here. So the Mose toolbar, you can get it by going to more tools in Chrome and then going to extensions and searching for the Mose, M-O-Z bar. And that will show you data up here for every website. And also when you search Google, it'll show it right next to the search results. This gives you a tremendous insight into what's ranking and why. It's so accurate. Domain authority represents Mose's best prediction for how a website will perform in search engine rankings. So in my own terms, domain authority is the cumulative authority of all the pages on a website. So we calculate this metric by combining all of our other link metrics, linking root domains, number of total links, Mose rank, Mose trust, etc., into a single score. So this is for the entire website, not just the homepage, because a lot of people make that mistake. Page authority, on the other hand, is Mose's calculated metric is likely to rank in google.com search results. So this is a score that they give to a single web page, and every page has one. It's from 0 to 100. Page authority just totally replaced page rank, and it's updated every single month, which is great. So you can keep track of how your website's doing over time. When you first publish a page, no matter what the domain authority is, the page authority will be 1. And then if the domain authority is very high, that page authority will grow usually pretty quickly without any links going to that page or anything. So now that you have that, let's go into this cheat sheet that we have created. We use this for just about every website that we analyze, whether we do it formally or not. This you can have as a giveaway. I posted it in the chat box, bit.ly.com/lawyer-SEO cheat sheet. You can download this. I know that you'll have to opt in. I don't have a copy of it without an opt-in form in front of it. Right here, the first step is to assess where your website is compared to your competitors. We need to see the gap between you and your competitors, generally speaking, not the actual page that's going to rank, not for any specific term. We just want to see what your website and the homepage of that website, let's say, how that's doing against competitors. So you want to put your law firm here, and then page authority and domain authority. I'll show you where to get those. That's another Moz metric. You don't have to sign up for Moz, but they only give you a few free searches before they limit your searches if you're not signed up as a member. There's a 30-day free trial. If you're really into this, especially at the very beginning of optimizing a site, you should probably jump on for the free trial. OpenSiteExplorer.com is the address. Now it redirects to this Moz.com/research-tool/OSE. So I'll log in so we can go into detail on some of these websites. This is the best part about SEO to me. You just look at exactly what these sites are doing to rank, and it's exciting. You look right under the hood at what's going on there. So let me log in. So let's say for your firm, let's just say that it is, and I had an example ready, Detroit Slip and Fall Lawyers. And let me pick a website to analyze as if it was our website. So this one here is really strong. I'll show you that one a little bit later in the presentation. It has a DA 49, which is halfway to 100. It's pretty strong. They always list a lot of directories, and that's another case in point for DA being really important these days. As you can see here, the PA is a 1 for lawyers.com, but it borrows the trust from the domain, which is an 87. Same thing here, 85, and this is a 43. So the PA is secondary for ranking, in my opinion, these days. We go after DA because it's just so much easier to rank something on a domain that has a DA of over 50 than it is with a brand new domain that has a very low domain authority like a 1 or a 10 or a 15. So let's pick a website to analyze. I'll go to page 2 to show that there's some kind of gap here between them and the first page and why there is such. So let's say that we're using olsmanlaw.com, right? And we're analyzing that site first. So we go here, plug in that, just like that, no HTTP or anything, and click search, and we'll see a bunch of metrics for them. Okay, so down here you see that the page authority is of the home page. That's of that single page. That's a 33. So you can go ahead and put that in the cheat sheet under page authority of home page. Domain authority is a 23, not too strong, pretty new website, probably. PA of the strongest link. So we want to see what's feeding these rankings, because links are still the #1 factor in ranking. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. As a matter of fact, let me show you a quote here on Google's 10 Things We Know to Be True page. Democracy on the web works. Google search works because it relies on the millions of individuals posting links on websites to help determine which other sites offer content of value. We assess the importance of every web page using more than 200 signals, including our own patented PageRank algorithm, which analyzes which sites have been voted to be the best source of information by other pages across the web. As the web gets bigger, this approach actually improves. So it says it right there in their company philosophy, about/company/philosophy page, that links are the basis of how they rank everything. And a stronger a website linking to you, meaning the more links pointing to that website, basically, because the PA and DA of that site will be stronger. If you have a more authoritative website linking to you, it counts for more than if a brand new blog that your friend, cousin, sister, uncle just put up, and it has a DA of 1 and a PA of 1. Links absolutely mean everything still to this day. So the link pointed to this site, olsmanlaw.com, and I don't want just the page. I want to see the entire root domain. So I want to see all their links basically pointed to the website, not just to the homepage. And it happens to be the same link, which is a PA 44. That's the most powerful link right now. Don't look at DA when you're thinking about links and powerful links, because this is where PA comes into play. The authority of the actual page referring to another website is what is most important when you're talking about backlinks. So this PA is a 44. Put that into your cheat sheet here. Page authority of the strongest link is a 44. And then I want to show you another tool, and I use it when looking at the number of backlinks of any website, because I think it's more comprehensive. I see Jenny just posted a question. I'll get to that and towards the end. And she also makes a good point about penguin and pigeon and hummingbird, and I'll get to those updates in a second. While we're on the topic of updates, all the updates that come out, I mean, Google updates their algorithm and the way they rank websites practically weekly. The major updates come out every few months. The most aggressive of updates, the ones that affected more searches, were hummingbird, panda, pigeon, and penguin. There was a bunch in the past year or so that came out or were new rollouts of updates. And what used to work in the past is just being filtered out now. When it comes to, I believe it's penguin, it was an anchor text issue, meaning, and we'll get into that in links, but what I want to tell you is that these updates really don't matter if you stick to the basics and the fundamentals of SEO. If you want a quick fix in SEO, you're probably going to get caught eventually in some update that filters you off of the first page. But if you're doing everything right, that's always worked since the beginning, then usually you'll have no problem with updates. And every person that I've seen that's come to us that was on page 1 and now not on page 1 over the past year, I would say the clearest signal that will filter you off of page 1 is what's called anchor text. And we'll get to that in just a second down here where it says percentage of most used anchor text. So I didn't forget about the theme completely, Jenny, but I just want you to know that it's sort of BS, and it's just meant to throw people off and to try new things and get you off of track. But stick with the fundamentals here and you're going to be just fine. If you have a specific question about how to recover from a penalty, that's a different story. But normally it has to do with anchor text. So we'll get there in just 1 minute, I promise. External backlinks from Majestic is the next metric here that we're going to get. Go to majestic.com. That's another tool. It's another index that shows you, they have their own proprietary metrics. We use PA and DA for Moz, and I like that it shows the PA and DA of the actual links. And then from majestic.com, this is a good index because it shows you more of the backlinks that are going to any given site. And it shows you a better count of the number of pages on the website, which is also a good ranking factor. So from Majestic, the first thing we want to put down is the number of external backlinks. And here we have this, I guess, test or example site, olsmanlaw.com, not on page 1 for Detroit personal injury lawyer, but I'm sure they want to be. And they have 849 external backlinks coming from 42 different websites or referring domains. And the external backlinks is great, but if you have like 10,000 backlinks, they're not going to be nearly as effective if they're only coming from 10 or 20 referring domains. So basically, the greater number of different domains that are linking to a website, the better. Now, it's much better to have 1,000 referring domains, which is a lot, linking in one time each, and have 1,000 external backlinks from those 1,000 referring domains, than it is to have like this 42 referring domains having 850 backlinks. Obviously not as strong as each referring domain linking in only one or two times. So back and forth to this cheat sheet. Again, you can get this it's in the chat box, but you can get this at bit.ly.com/lawyer SEO cheat sheet, all one word at the end, no hyphens or anything. External backlinks, put that number in there. Referring domains, put that number there. Index URLs, also very important lately, because bigger sites are generally considered more authoritative and trustworthy in the eyes of Google. And that's where your blog comes in. If you're blogging regularly and regularly having more indexed URLs or indexed pages or posts on your site, it's a good thing. Index URLs for this site is 219, so go ahead and we'll put that into here. And then this is what catches people off guard in terms of updates, and what I usually see them getting filtered out of search results for is this anchor text, because it was widely known in the past, it was a loophole really, that if you wanted to rank in Google, all you had to do was have your anchor text be the exact term that you want to rank for over and over again. So if you don't know what anchor text is the text in any link. Here, this is a backlink here, or a link here. Anchor text is the actual anchor text. Down here is a link to a frequently asked questions page, and the anchor text happens to be FAQs. So every link will have either an anchor text or none if it's an image, for example, and there's no alt text in the image. But every link usually has some kind of anchor text. Most natural these days is if the anchor text is the name of the firm or the name of the website. Google wants to see that you're being referred to by name. So if you're a lawyer, a celebrity, an author, they want to see that people are talking about you by name, that you're the go-to expert in that field. And that's why they want to see this as a good, solid base of your links, having that brand anchor text. And this website does a pretty good job of that. And I think that they're just not on page one for the term because they don't have enough links. But if you look here, they have their highest anchor text used is 28.57, but it's of the actual URL. So that's totally fine. It's when you start seeing like Detroit personal injury lawyer up over 10% or over even 5%, that's when it starts to be a problem. And that's when you'll start getting filtered out with these latest updates. So the best anchor text charts, the best anchor text pie charts like here in majestic.com will be the ones that have a very small sliver of text, and then everything else is other anchor text. So they have a huge variety. The most powerful websites have a huge variety of anchor text, and the most of those anchor texts are with the law firm. So if you're going out and you're building links on, let's say, directories, or if you're building branded Web 2.0s like on Tumblr or WordPress, Weebly, and you have articles there about your niche or about a product that you're offering, and you link back to the main website or to the main product page, just don't overuse the main anchor text that you want to rank for. It just doesn't work anymore. They have to be used very sparingly, and you can't go wrong with brand, as we said before. So this is an okay anchor text profile. Not like she is over, I said she, but I'm not sure. Not like this firm is over optimizing for any term specifically. Oh, Jules Olsman, it was a woman. Mostly brand, so very good here. On the other hand, this person is seriously under optimized if the firm wants to rank for Detroit personal injury lawyer, because they're not here at all. you should see the terms that you do want to rank for here, like 1 or 2% of the time. That is totally normal. And if you want to rank, anchor text still has a big part in which terms you show up for. So use sparingly, but definitely necessary. You're not going to rank without links and without the proper anchor text. So I mean, that's about as complicated as it gets in SEO. Most people want to complicate it and say, talk all kinds of huge words and things that I don't even understand. Some of the blogs that I read, I frankly don't even understand. What I do is I test things and see if it works. And that's how I've learned SEO over the years. So anchor text percentage for this person is a 28.57. But you want to make a note in the cheat sheet that it's not over optimized because it's of the brand name. So you can put that percentage here. As a matter of fact, just put the anchor text of the highest keyword, but I don't see any here. So unfortunately, that will be 0. So you might want to make a note of it that 28.5% is of the brand name and 0 keywords used for that. So if this was your law firm and you had that and you see these numbers and then you go ahead and you put your competitors' numbers in here, you're going to see a clear gap between them and you. And that's exactly why they're ranking over you in Google. It's not rocket science. It's just a math problem. Citation flow and trust flow are the other two metrics. I don't personally look at these too much, but they are important. Some people look at them more than I do. Trust flow is one of Majestic flow metrics, which is weighted by the number of clicks from a seed set of trusted sites to a given URL or domain. Basically, in layman's terms, this means that the sites linking in are relevant to the site being linked to. So news is slightly relevant. It's a 13 to a law site. But if these were law websites linking into this website here, the trust flow would be higher. Citation flow is the number of links coming in, the flow of links coming in over a 90-day period. So anything over 10 here is pretty healthy. If you have less than 10 in trust flow, you're starting to get trust issues, meaning that the links pointing to you are not very trustworthy and they're not coming from relevant content or relevant websites. So back again to this cheat sheet, you want to put these trust flow and citation flow metrics here. Go ahead and fill it out for your competition as well, and then see where the gap is. I think we have time for just a little bit more here. I'm going to keep going. Hopefully you're getting a lot out of this. Okay, keyword research. How do you find the keywords that you are going to go after? And most people would use this keyword planner tool. And I don't use it anymore for keyword research per se. What I use it for is just to show me if there's any searches being done for that keyword for the month. The keyword planner doesn't really give you a good idea of other relevant keywords that you can also go after. It just gives you the search volume, period. So whatever you plug in, it'll tell you how many people are searching for that specific keyword and keywords exactly like it. But they're not going to give you very good related terms. The very first place to look for related terms and keywords that you want to go after is Google. So for example, if I want to go after Detroit slip and fall lawyers, which is our example for today. I can't type while talking, apparently. But here, right in Google, you can find a few clues as to suggested terms, and you should just go ahead and write all these down. Down here at the bottom, searches related to Detroit slip and fall lawyers, what to do when you slip and fall in a store. So that should be on your website or on that page. Slip and fall negligence, that's another term that people search, obviously. So write that one down. And then when you're typing this in, I forgot to show you this. The auto suggest will show you terms as well. So if something comes up in the auto complete box, then write that down as well. So just brainstorm as much as possible with Google itself. Detroit auto accident attorney, car accident lawyers, Detroit. And then the number one place that I look for keywords is in the top ranking websites in Google. I just completely swipe them off their site. You're going to who's winning and who's doing the best in your market, and you're taking their keywords and you're going to target them as well. And you're going to build, what I would suggest is building a page for every major keyword that you have. We try to go after sometimes 200 keywords per website. And we build landing pages for each and every one of those keywords. I mean, we don't, if they're kind of related, we put them onto the same page, but for the most part, for different towns, we have separate pages, and for different keywords, we have separate pages. So here, look at all these keywords that we can just copy down and also go after for this website. Buckfirelaw.com is just one I pulled out. It's ranking pretty highly for Detroit personal injury lawyer. Here is accident, auto accident, medical malpractice, birth injury, cerebral palsy, motorcycle accident, nursing home abuse and neglect, wrongful death, dog bites, slip and fall, dangerous drugs, defective medical devices, workers' compensation, and types of personal injury. And then if you go to each of those pages, you'll get a ton of new keywords that you can target as well. Like here, we're on the slip and fall page. I'm trying to take it all in. I know, Ethan, I'm just trying to cram as much information as I can in. Since this is the first webinar, after this, I'm sure it'll be mostly like site reviews. But here's the outline, Ethan, that we wanted to follow for today. And it's really the outline that we follow and the steps that we follow for any SEO campaign. So the first step is assessment, which we did with that cheat sheet, then keyword research, where we're doing now, and then building landing pages. And landing pages we're probably not going to be able to get to, but in the book that we have coming out, we have a landing page, on-page SEO checklist that we go through, and that book will be coming out beginning of March. It's either lawyer SEO or law firm SEO. I'm not sure what the name is going to be. It's going to be pretty straightforward. So this is what we do. We basically, the first half is setup and setting up on site. And then after that, we work on content and getting links back to the site itself. And these are the steps to any successful SEO campaign. And I'll put it here in the chat box. On Slip and Fall Lawyers page for buckfirelaw.com, here are more keywords that you can copy for if you were in this niche: slip and fall accidents, ice and snow, including black ice, slip substances, and food. I mean, these are great. I mean, they probably don't show up in the Google Keyword Planner as having any search phrases per se, but people are searching this. Most of the traffic that any website gets is from long tail keywords like this, not the generic stuff that everybody thinks up off the bat, like personal injury law, but things like I slipped on black ice and I hurt my back, I need a lawyer, something real long tail like that. That accounts for almost 90% of the traffic. And I have a website that I can show you, but because of time, I won't. So for keyword research, copy down as many of these keywords as you can. And then after that, we're not going to go into building landing pages for each and every one of these. We have an SEO, on-page SEO cheat sheet and checklist that we'll be publishing on the Facebook page within the next week or so. I'll put it together so that people can download that, the perfect landing page, and then build a landing page for every term that you want to rank for. Keep this in mind. Your inner pages are for ranking and your home page is for branding. A big mistake I see a lot of people making is that they try to rank their homepage for everything under the sun, every keyword. You shouldn't do that. Your homepage really should just be for branding about you and your company. And then the inner pages should be the ones that you want to show up in Google. And even for, thanks, Ethan. You like lawyer. I like lawyer SEO better as well. But I just think that SEO for lawyers, that's a good one too. We're trying to attract law firms and, be our target market is 5 to 10 attorneys. So, but yeah, originally it was lawyer SEO, and actually that was one of the top keywords that we wanted to rank for, and we did it. In the past month or so, we showed up for lawyer SEO, which was really cool. Here we are here, Lawyer SEO. So yeah, we don't show up for law firm SEO yet. We show up on the second page for law firm SEO. So anyway, here's the Mosbar metrics show up underneath the site as well, DA 39 and a PA 49 for the homepage that's ranking. So again, this goes right against what I was just saying, but your homepage should be for branding, and some of the broad terms will show up on the homepage, even though we have inner pages going after Lawyer SEO. But the homepage should be for branding, and the inner pages should be for ranking. All right, let's next week we'll dive deeper into the actual links pointing to any website. We didn't get a chance to do that here, but I hope this was a good first webinar for you. Let's see what we have. Let's go to Apricot Law just for branding while we end this call and jump right into the questions. So, but before we do, I want to make sure that everybody has the cheat sheet, and because we use it every day. I mean, for any SEO, it's a math problem. Just go ahead and plug these numbers in. First, do it for, like I said, the homepage and the domain authority of your site and your competitor's site, and then go into specific pages that are ranking for terms that you want to rank for. So if you wanted to see how competitive any specific term was, you can do the same thing with that cheat sheet for a page, for a specific page that's ranking, and see how powerful any page is. That concludes the educational portion of this webinar, and we will get into the questions in a few minutes. But first, if you own a law firm and you like this sort of information, then we have a special offer just for you. We've set aside some time to speak with you personally, and during that time, we'll evaluate your law practice and work with you collaboratively to create an immediately actionable plan to increase the number of targeted visitors to your website. There is no charge for this, and there's no catch. If you enjoy the conversation and get value from it, we can discuss working together long term. Here is some of what you'll get on the call. We will spy on your competitors so you can see what they're doing that's working and copy it for yourself, saving you months of testing on your own. We will come up with keywords you should be targeting so you can attract the ideal prospects for your practice. We will uncover possible problems with your website that might be holding you back, so you can either correct the problems or stop wasting time and money on a dead site if that's the case. Why would we offer this? Number one, we enjoy helping attorneys grow their legal practices and help more people in need of their services. Number two, this is how we attract clients. How much does it cost to become a client? The obvious question. Depending on the current health of your law firm's website, the competitiveness of your market, and your business goals, being a full-service client will require a minimum investment of $5,000 per month with a 12-month agreement. This strategy call will not be a sales pitch disguised as a free consultation. Of course, there is no obligation to become a client, nor do we accept every person we speak with as a full-service client. Regardless of whether we end up working together or not, you will get a valuable report about your law firm's online presence and an actionable plan you can use right away to start getting more traffic to your website so you can attract more of your ideal clients to your law firm. To prove how serious we are about delivering value to you on this call, we are offering an unheard of guarantee. If you feel that we have wasted your time, we will send you a check for $1,000 as compensation. So there are three possible outcomes of the call. Number one, you love the plan and decide to implement it on your own. If that's the case, I'll wish you the best of luck, and I'll ask that you keep in touch to let us know how it's going. Number two, you love the plan and ask to become our client. If we both agree that it's best that you become a client and let us do this for you, then we'll begin immediately to implement the plan and to bring more targeted traffic to your website. Number three, in the unlikely and unprecedented event you feel you have wasted your time, we will send you a check for $1,000 as compensation. This is not for everyone. We are very picky about who we'll speak with, and we have a strict but reasonable set of criteria that need to be met in order for us to proceed. Here are the criteria for the free initial strategy meeting. You need to say yes to each of these. These are statements that you have to agree with before we can proceed. Number one, I have success and credibility in a certain area of law already and would like to take my practice to the next level. Number two, I own my own law firm and/or I am authorized to make decisions about marketing for the firm. Number three, I understand that being a full-service client of Apricot Law will require a minimum investment of $5,000 per month. Number four, I can commit at least 1 hour per week to creating content that will help my marketplace. I understand that this content can be created using my preferred method, such as phone or audio recording, video, or text. What to do next? If you meet all 4 criteria points and would like to schedule a call with one of the founders of Apricot Law, click on the link below and submit your information on the page that opens. We will review your application and get back to you within 24 hours with a response. We look forward to hearing from you soon. Okay, let's get into the questions. 1 second, just looking at the chat box here. Yeah, Jenny says we haven't heard of Moz. What is that? Yeah, Moz is Moz.com is the company that has research tools that we went through pretty extensively. They created domain authority and page authority of websites, and they have the Open Site Explorer tool where you can analyze any website. It's basically an index that kind of mirrors Google, and they show you a bunch of metrics for any website or web page. Why did my site get up on page 15 after I was on page 1 for some of my law firm's keywords? I think Hummingbird, Panda, Pigeon, and all those updates messed it up. So yeah, I think we went over this question as well during the content of the webinar. What I said was anchor text is usually the #1 reason that a website was on page 1 and then drops off the planet. So it might have been one of those updates, but that is the shining reason why most websites fall that far is anchor text over optimization. So let's say you wanted to rank for the term, or you were ranking for the term, and I don't know if he says what type of law firm it was. No, let's say you're a divorce lawyer in New York and you were ranking for New York City divorce lawyer and you were on page 1. And then all of a sudden an update comes out and the next day you're nowhere to be found. They're on page 15. Take a look at majestic.com here and plug your website in and make sure it says root domain. And then go down here where it says anchor text. And look to see if all of these anchor texts say like New York City divorce lawyer, New York City, divorce attorney, New York City. And all of these, if they're the keyword that you want to rank for, you have a clear problem. Anything with a keyword in it, in anchor text that's over, let's say, 5% of the time, you're really bordering on anchor text over optimization. Let me go to this firm to show you an example. Detroit Slip and Fall Lawyers, and we'll go to page 1. So we'll see some firms, but we've done over 300 of these analysis in the past few months of personal injury law firms specifically. And 1 out of those 350 on page 1 had anchor text over 10% for any keyword that they were ranking for. So that's a clear indication that it's an anchor text problem, and that's one loophole that they're just keep cracking down on. So let's look at buckfirelaw.com, for example, #1 for Detroit Slip and Fall Lawyer. And I want to show you their anchor text because I almost can just tell that it's going to be pretty diverse. Buckfirelaw.com. Okay, I mean, this site is an absolute, first of all, it's a monster of a site for a law firm. I mean, 936 referring domains and over 10,800 backlinks coming to the page. Look at the index URL, 6,000 index URLs. These people have been blogging on the site for years, and that's why they are where they are. But if you look down here, look at the anchor text. Like I said earlier, car accident and injury lawyers, that's sort of a keyword. It's more generic. It doesn't have Detroit in it. And that's used 3.77% of the time. That's the most they use any keyword anchors. which is not a lot. And like I said before, the top keyword anchor that they use is their website, which is like a brand term. So let's like look through these quick. Most of them are student bullying, 0.99%. I mean, that's not a lot at all. And that's not even a term that they probably want to rank for. So literally one keyword that they want to rank for, and even broader than they probably want to rank for because it doesn't have a city associated with it, is at 3.7% of the time. Check your anchor text, because I could put money on that it's an anchor text issue. If it's not, maybe it's something else. Maybe you have the keyword stuffed on the page that used to be on page 1, but normally it's an anchor text issue. They say high quality trumps keyword placement, but how can a search engine recognize this? From Ethan. Yeah, I remember this question on the Facebook wall. I was the one that liked it as soon as it came in. To be perfectly honest, I don't think that Google can tell high quality from low quality. It's not really about high quality versus low, because it's a computer, it's a spider. They're not a person looking at it. I mean, unless there's a manual review, but that is so few and far between that for the most part, they can't tell high quality versus low. What they can tell, though, by looking at something called, I mean, you can tell on your own by looking at something called Copyscape. If your content is 100% unique on your website and on the page that you want to rank, that's called duplicate content. So they can tell if it's unique or found anywhere else on the internet, but they can't tell if it's quality. They just can't. I mean, a lot of times, for example, one piece of content might be quality to one person and not to another. Like, what if there's just an image and a video on the page, which is obviously quality to many, many people because video is very valuable. So there can literally be no text on a page, and that page is very, very valuable. And they know that it's valuable by the people that are watching the video and not just jumping off the website, and also the number of links pointing into it, but they don't know if the content is valuable. They just don't. So Copyscape is where you can, I think it's a couple cents per search, but if you go to premium and you log in, you can paste content right into a box, and they'll tell you if any of the sentences were word for word on any other website on the internet. So that I have found that copy was just completely scraped, and a site was on like page 2, and I found that they had their content was copied from somewhere else. Maybe they hired a writer and the writer just copied it from somewhere, and it was pretty exact to what was found elsewhere on the net. And once we cleaned that up and made it unique, that site actually went to page 1 pretty quickly. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, but I've seen, in terms of quality, no, I've seen some terrible link profiles where it's just like completely like gibberish, and the person was just posting it just for the link, and the site is on page 1 of Google. So in terms of the link, in terms of the content where the link is, no, I don't think so. Google can track a lot of things. Google can track time on site, bounce rate. They can track people with toolbars and with browsers now. I mean, they were associated with Firefox, but now I don't think they are. But with Chrome, they can track wherever you're going and what you're into, and if you're on a page or not. So they can pretty much tell if content is quality by the amount of time somebody spends with it. If a page has a bounce rate of 100, like somebody lands on the page and stays for like a few seconds and then leaves every single time, and the bounce rate is 100, they obviously know that something's wrong with that content. Even if there's no text on the page, something must be wrong because their users are not getting the user experience that they want them to. So that's the only way that they can tell, but they can't tell like just by the spider going through the page and saying, no, something's wrong with this content. Only by the user experience that people are. All right, Ethan. So bit.ly.com/lawyer SEO cheat sheet. That's to download the cheat sheet. And then the other thing is bit.ly.com/lawyer-SEO if you're interested in the client application for the free consultation call. So this has been Nick Kringus. I hope you found this extremely helpful. If you have any questions, post it to the Facebook page or email me at info@apricotlaw.com. So Jenny, thank you very much for putting this together. Next week we'll get it together and hopefully you can speak. Everybody wants to hear you speak, Jenny. Thank you. And until next week, this has been Nick Kringus. Have a great week.